Y'all remember that fat ass box sitting on your TV stand, bro? We gonna get right into it. Hey, like the video, help the video get pushed down the algorithm. Let's get straight to it. Y'all see what's going on. I ain't even gotta say this every time. Y'all see what's going on. Let's do it.
2006, you just did the impossible. You sold 155 million PlayStation 2s. But here's
this
the thing about
PS2.
being on top of the world. There's only
Okay.
one direction left to go.
thought
They
it was
looked at their
PS3.
perfect record and said, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
Let's build
Okay.
a $600 supercomputer and see what happens. This is the story of how the most successful gaming company in the world went from conquering everything to almost losing it all. How Sony's greatest triumph
shit.
became their greatest nightmare. And how sometimes you have to lose everything to remember who
regain it.
you really are.
To regain the
For the
two.
PlayStation 2,
Thought that was the message. Okay.
the best entertainment system to hit the world.
Sony Pictures is making Spider-Man movies that are breaking box office records. Sony Music has everyone from Beyonce to John Mayer on their label. Walk into any electronics store and half the TVs, cameras, and stereos have that iconic Sony logo.
Yeah.
The crown jewel, PlayStation.
Yeah.
Microsoft's original Xbox, 24 million units sold. Nintendo's GameCube, 22 million. The PS2,
Nah, shit.
155 million
Yeah.
and counting.
PlayStation
Ken
on top.
Kutaragi, the father of PlayStation, is being called a visionary genius. Developers are lining up to make games exclusively for PlayStation because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
They had achieved total market dominance while remaining profitable and innovative. There was only one question being asked: how do we do it again? Little did they know that question was about to destroy everything. Sony's executives weren't celebrating. They were looking at the horizon, and what they saw terrified them. Their first enemy was their own success. The PS2 had set an impossible standard. 155 million units wasn't just a number. It was a mountain that seemed impossible to climb twice. Their second enemy was Microsoft's endless war chest.
Yeah, no. Bruh, you could say it's a word now, cause they do. I'm not gonna like sit here and just cap and say like, yeah, Xbox, this shit is terrible. Like, even though it is worse than the PS5 and it sells less than the PS5 and it's probably less enjoyable than the PS5, it's still, you feel me, still competing. But back then, bro, that shit was not competing. Niggas buying PS2s and PS3s over all that shit. Besides maybe an Xbox 360. That's the only competitor y'all got, cause y'all got the Connect and shit. You feel what I'm saying? That's the only competitor. But it's so much different shit. Like, bro, don't get me PSP, PSV, bro. Don't get me started, bro.
Microsoft had just lost billions on the original Xbox, but they
Look,
weren't
listen, they
retreating.
losing billions.
Microsoft had just lost billions on the original Xbox, but they weren't retreating. Steve Ballmer had literally said Microsoft would spend whatever it takes to win gaming. The third enemy was Toshiba's HD DVD threat. If HD DVD won and Blu-ray lost, their movie studio would be paying Toshiba for years to come.
Yeah.
The fourth enemy was Nintendo's wildcard. Nintendo had just
What the
announced
fuck
something
happened to
called
Toshiba?
Revolution with a mysterious new controller. So
Hold on, chat. Shiba. Shiba faced significant challenges in recent years, leading to this stock change ownership. Oh my god. They sold the company to another nigga. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. Let's get back to it.
Sony's intelligence suggested it wasn't just about graphics or processing power, it was something completely different. And their fifth enemy was PC gaming's rise.
Ooh.
Nvidia and ATI
But look, you can't really say that in the 2000s, gang. It wasn't nobody with a game. I can't name not one nigga with a gaming PC until 2013, 14, 15-ish. Niggas wasn't building gaming PCs unless you was like a developer or you was a nigga that had the parts in like accessible to you. Like this shit right here, yeah, let me build a PC. Like niggas didn't know to go buy a motherboard and a GPU to build a PC in 2006, my nigga. That shit from y'all couldn't even get the euro out.
were releasing hardware that made console graphics look PC processing power. Was
Talk to me,
something
though.
completely
Talk to me.
different. And their fifth enemy was PC gaming's rise. Nvidia and ATI were releasing hardware that made console
Holy
graphics
shit.
look PC gaming's
A 680i. Oh wait, this is a motherboard, right? No. I don't know. Is that the graphics card? A 680i? What the fuck is that?
rise. Nvidia and ATI were
You put that
releasing
shit in my
hardware that made
PC,
console
my whole
graphics
house
look
gonna blow up,
dated.
nigga.
If consoles couldn't match PC performance, why would hardcore gamers need them at all? Sony
The whole
realized they
fucking
weren't just
block gonna
defending
blow
their
up. Fuck
crown,
my house.
They were fighting a
Hell
five-front
nah.
war for the future of entertainment itself. So they made a decision that would change everything. They
Lock
would build
in,
a
though,
weapon
lock
so
in.
powerful, so advanced that none of these threats could touch them.
Let the games begin.
Tomorrow's PlayStation 3 launch.
The new technology in PlayStation 3 helped developers usher in a new era of
This where I spawned in,
immersive,
chat.
high-definition
Around the
gaming.
PS3
It's this
days.
holiday season's must-have.
I played
Connecting
PS2 a little
gaming
bit,
and
but I
entertainment
was
for
too young to know what the
PlayStation
fuck was
fans.
going
Lifelike
on.
graphics and
This
motion
where I
sensing
spawned in at
controls.
PS3.
As you can see, we have a lot of new, exciting things in store for our collective future.
They would
They
attack
had a
all
white
5 threats
PS3?
at the same time with 3 revolutionary technologies that would redefine what a gaming console could be. Sony called up IBM and Toshiba and proposed something that sounded like science fiction. Let's build the most powerful processor ever created for consumer electronics. Imagine physics so realistic that every piece of debris behaved like real matter. AI so advanced that NPCs seemed actually intelligent. The cell processor wasn't just an upgrade, it was alien technology. Ken Kutaragi stood on stage and declared that the PS3 would be so powerful that people could actually network multiple consoles together for distributed computing. And the Air Force actually did that,
LAN cable,
stringing
LAN
together
connection.
over 1,500 PS3s to create the 33rd fastest supercomputer in the world at the time. Sony wasn't content with just winning the performance war. They were going to end the HD format war before it
Yep.
started. Every
Then they get the
single
Blu-ray
PS3
and
would have
yep.
a Blu-ray drive. built in.
Yep.
This was strategic genius disguised as engineering madness. Toshiba could spend billions marketing HD DVD, but they couldn't compete with Sony,
Hell
literally
nah.
giving away Blu-ray players with every console sale. Microsoft had something Sony didn't: Xbox Live. Sony watched as Microsoft built a reoccurring revenue stream from millions of subscribers. Sony's response was bold. Sony would build PlayStation Network as a premium service.
But you gotta think at the same time, that's one of the main reasons why PlayStation was better, because they didn't charge us when we was fucking 10 years old. How the fuck as a 10-year-old am I gonna get $15 a month, my nigga? So that's when I learned how to play solo games. Yeah. That's how I learned how to play offline, chat. Yeah. That's how I learned how to play the campaigns and beat the story mode of games. Cause you got me fucked up. Nah, never.
that cost nothing. Messaging, friends list, online multiplayer, digital game downloads, all free. These 3 technologies would work together to create an unstoppable gaming ecosystem. The cell processor would deliver visuals
Assassin's
so
Creed,
stunning that Xbox
that was their main
360
shit
would
right
look
there, I
dated.
ain't gonna lie.
Blu-ray would win the format war while providing
Was
massive
it?
storage for next-gen
PS3,
games.
yeah,
Free PSN
Assassin's
would steal
Creed.
Xbox Live subscribers while building PlayStation loyalty. Sony wasn't just building a console, they were building a technological fortress that would keep competitors out for the next decade.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
$599 US dollars, $659
Shit.
Canadian.
The room we were in went silent.
599 US dollars.
I need to re-architect every line of code I've ever written in order to get it to work.
Oh shit. What's going on?
development community out of business.
Sony's master plan started collapsing the moment they tried to execute it. The cell processor that was supposed to be their secret weapon became their worst nightmare.
Yeah,
Epic
niggas
Games
was like,
and
I'm not-
Sweeney called it a nightmare.
Look, before everybody experienced, they like, I ain't finna drop the bag on that shit. And they be ass, then they don't want to be the first nigga to test it out type shit. Soon as some niggas test that shit out, everybody start dropping on 4-500s.
Nightmare to develop for. Valve's Gabe Newell was even more brutal. The PS3 is a total disaster on so many levels. Games that ran perfectly on Xbox 360 became stuttering, broken messes on the PS3. The cell's 9
Come on.
cores didn't work like normal processors. Developers had to completely relearn how to write code, and most of them simply couldn't figure it out. Then came E3 2006.
E3,
Sony
yeah.
walked on stage and delivered the first line that would haunt Sony for years. $599 US dollars. The original PlayStation launched at $299. The PS2 was $299. Even the premium Xbox 360 was $399. Meanwhile, Sony's factories were hemorrhaging money on every single unit. The cell processor cost around $230 to manufacture. The Blu-ray drive, another $125. By the time you added the NVIDIA graphics chip, memory, and everything else, each PS3 cost Sony around $870 to build.
Shit.
Sony was losing nearly $300 on every single console sold. Xbox 360 had been on shelves for a full year, building up a library of games and working out manufacturing kinks. Nintendo launched the Wii the same month for $249, less than half the price of a PS3.
That's crazy. You can get a Wii for like $50.
$1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion. Some estimates put Sony's total PS3 losses at over $5 billion across the console's lifetime. But here's the thing about Sony. They don't know
throwing
how
up the
to
trays?
quit. Even as the PS3
He a BD?
was bleeding money,
His ass tweaking.
even as developers were abandoning them, even as the gaming press was writing
On King David, his
PlayStation's
ass tweaking,
obituary,
boy.
Sony kept fighting. And slowly, impossibly,
Chill out,
they
Shaq,
started
chill out.
winning wars that nobody was paying attention to. In February 2008, Toshiba surrendered. HD DVD was officially dead. This victory alone would eventually generate billions in licensing revenue. The PS3's losses suddenly looked like a strategic investment. Exclusive games started flowing. Uncharted showed what the PS3 could really do. God of War 3 delivered the cinematic spectacle Sony had promised. Most importantly, Sony's first-party studios figured out the cell processor. The Last of Us, released near the end of the PS3's life, looked absolutely stunning, better than most early PS4 games. While Xbox Live subscribers complained about paying $50 a year, PlayStation users were getting the same features for nothing. PSN's user base exploded. By the end of the generation, Sony had built a legitimate competitor to Xbox Live. Most remarkably, the PS3 fought its way back in total sales. PS3 had sold roughly 87 million units compared to Xbox 360's 84 million. Now the Wii did sell over 100 million, but this is pretty good. So what did Sony actually accomplish with the PS3? They lost billions of dollars, alienated developers, and nearly destroyed the PlayStation brand. But they also won the format war, maintained their market position, built a world-class online service, and created some of the greatest games ever made. Most importantly, they learned. Every mistake, every misstep, every billion-dollar loss taught them something crucial about what gamers actually wanted. When development on the PS4 began, Sony didn't just build a new console, they systematically fixed every single mistake they've made. Mark Cerny, the PS4's lead architect, spent 2 years just talking to game developers. What did they want? Simple tools, familiar hardware, straightforward development processes. Sony literally designed the PS4 around developer feedback instead of engineering ambition. While Microsoft's Xbox One launch focused on TV integration, sports apps, and living room entertainment, Sony's message was laser focused. No supercomputer claims, no revolutionary new media formats, no complex multi-purpose positioning. The PS4 was a gaming console that made games really well, and that was enough.
He picking
when
the best
Microsoft
footage.
announced Xbox One at $499, Sony already had their answer ready. $399.
$399.
No more losing hundreds of dollars per console. No more betting the company on long-term strategy. The PS4 would make money immediately. The PS4 sold over 117 million units. Sony had taken every painful lesson from the PS3 era and turned them into competitive advantages. But the real victory wasn't the sales numbers. It was proving that Sony had learned from their mistakes.
The
PS3 cost $5 billion. The PS4 made them billions in profit. Sometimes, the most expensive lessons are the most valuable ones.
Nah, that's W video, bruh. I wish it was more.